doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. I hope you guys can hear me. Just a second. Yes, I think you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Hi, Christopher. How are you? Hey, you're from Mexico. How are you doing? How's Mexico? Mexico. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so it's been a minute since I was on here in the morning. And yeah, I'm happy to be back. I always enjoy our morning sessions. It's a really great way, to be honest, for me to start the day. And I hope it is for you as well. Yeah. So, um, I just want to talk a little bit about the California fires, sort of just update us on what's happening. It's a very unfortunate situation. And I'm sending, condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones, to everyone who's affected. Yeah, it's a very difficult and trying time. And so, if you have a minute, you can say a prayer, for everyone who's affected by these fires. So, the update is that, so my source is CNN, all right? So, it is reported, I'll be reading mostly verbatim, okay? Yeah, so at least 10 people have died. When I talked about this the other day, the number was 5, and now it has risen to 10, which is very, very sad. Have died, but officials warn the actual toll will remain unclear until it's safe for investigators to access neighborhoods. So we only know of 10 right now, but we don't know if this is the exact number. I am hoping that this is it. Even just losing one life is one too many. Yeah, and it just breaks my heart that such things happen. Yeah. Anyway, so as many as 10,000 structures have been destroyed between the Coastal Palisades fire, which is now the most destructive ever to hit LA, Los Angeles. That's crazy. Yeah. So this just shows you the magnitude of the fires. Yeah. And to hit Los Angeles and the Eaton fire, which has devastated communities, residents are contending with polluted air and hazardous conditions. So you can imagine just the aftermath of the fires, what's going on. I think one of the last of the fires, if I'm not wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was put out yesterday. So I just hope that everything is contained. And yeah, my heart goes out to everyone who's affected. Um, and yeah, just hoping that they will find a way to heal and just go back to their daily routine. And yeah, it's so heartbreaking. So if you have a minute, say a prayer and help in whatever way that you can. All right. Hi, Alicia. How are you? Hi, Stephen Martone. Good morning. Guys, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the like, and share this live. Yes, it's Friday. Friday. All right. So, yeah, that's the update for the California fires. Now, I was just like watching a few videos on YouTube, and I came across this video of the coldest city in the world. As you all know, it's winter where I'm at now, and I've been complaining of the cold. Yeah, it's okay in that, like, when you're indoors and stuff like that, but the moment you step out, that cold hits you and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah, I try to layer up and dress really warm. Yeah, so I'm really doing good on that front. But yeah, I still find it cold, and it's just like, let's say, the temperatures are like maybe between maybe 35 to like 40 something degrees Fahrenheit. I still find that very, very cold, you know? Yeah. Until I came across this video and I was like, oh my gosh. So the coldest city in the world is Yakutsk. I hope I said it right. Quite a mouthful. Yakutsk, Russia in Siberia. So I don't know how that works. It's in Russia, it's in Siberia. Anyway, we can check later and just confirm exactly where it's from. Actually, let me check it right now. Yakutsk, is it in Russia or Siberia? Or if you guys know, let me know in the chat. Yakutsk, it's a city in Russia. So is Siberia in Russia? I'm confused. Really, really confused. Okay, but this one, it's the one I'm talking about is in Siberia. But is it like in Russia? Let me see. Yakutsk. Here it says Russia. Guys, let me know. Anyone from this part of the world who can clarify? Good morning. Hi, Danny. How are you? Just prayed. You always have my. Oh, thank you, Danny. Good to see you here. Oh my gosh. So this city is so cold. I just want to know because, well, they say Siberia and then Russia. I am so confused. This is so confusing. Oh, Siberia is a region in Russia. Okay, so that gives me context. All right, okay. Anyway, it's in Siberia. It is so cold during winter, and they have extremely low temperatures that drop to negative 64 degrees Celsius. Now, oh my gosh. Whew. Let me tell you, even when you watch that video, you're just like, oh my gosh, this place looks so cold. It's like ice all over. Like, I think it snows there like almost every day because it's just ice. I don't even know how they drive. So the lady mentioned that she can't even drive because it takes a lot of work to have a vehicle there because the engine freezes. You have to make sure you keep it warm. It just sounded like a lot of work. I was like, yeah, I get it. But then she uses public transportation, and that means she has to walk to the bus station. And I was out one day and it was so cold that day. It was actually 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Guys, please like the live. Show me some love. Like the live. Please subscribe and share the live. Please don't spam. If you spam, I'll have to mute you, and I don't like muting people. Hey, PHSM. I think it might be borderline near Ukraine. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Yeah, because they say it's in Russia. Siberia is it? Yeah. But thank you for that, Danny. Sorry I didn't see it earlier. Please do not spam my comment section. Yeah. We keep it cool over here. Positive vibes. Keep it copacetic. Thanks for the like, guys. Thanks for the likes. Keep on subscribing and share the live. So anyway, this city is so cold. You won't believe it. Like she could only walk outside for like 15 minutes at a time. And after that, she was like risking frostbites. Yeah. If you guys have had a frostbite, you could end up losing your fingers or your toes. And yeah, it's crazy. I've been out in the cold one time without gloves, and I just felt like this pain. It was crazy. Yeah. So since then, I always try to just have a pair of gloves with me, or mittens, whatever works for you. Yeah, and it gets so cold. So when I was out that one time, I'd gone to see the Christmas tree. It was so cold, and that was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet these people are dealing with almost negative 80 something degrees Fahrenheit. I was like, oh Lord, no. I really don't think I can survive there. I don't know. Anyway, you never know until you're there and you have to stay there. It is so cold, so cold. She even said that when she was using her, okay, now just 1 second. This, oh. So she even said that for the cameras, yeah. So she has someone who helps her, like, you know, shoot her content and stuff like that. So even the camera, they have like, is it a suitcase or just, yeah, let me just say, call it a suitcase or whatever it was, that is heated, that they have to put in, like the cameras. So they have like 3 cameras, they have to keep on changing. Otherwise, the camera will freeze. Even cell phones, she was like, the phones are just like used for emergencies because they freeze. You can't even, unless you're like indoors and stuff like that. So it is so crazy. Yeah. So you guys can check it out. It's called Yakutsk. It's in Russia, in Siberia. So cold. And what really scared me is that they have homeless people. Can you imagine being homeless in winter in this place? How? How would you even survive outside? Because she said she could not stay outside for like more than 15 minutes at a time. Like after like every 15 minutes, she had to like go like somewhere to get warm, like coffee shop, just any indoor building that had heat in it. She had to go in there and just keep warm. Yeah, so that is crazy. And to prove to us, because they're doubting Thomases out here. Sometimes you see, but you still doubt. It's human nature. Human nature. Yeah, so anyway, she went to a coffee shop, took hot water from the coffee shop. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Hot water from the coffee shop. So if you know how hot water is, it's like, so if you get hot water from the coffee shop, it is so hot. So always handle those hot drinks with care. Like be super careful, because the last time I was in Starbucks. I'm not really a Starbucks person because I don't drink coffee. Yeah. I know they have other drinks as well, yeah, so don't come at me. Yeah. But anyway, so I was freezing, freezing, freezing. I walked into the nearest Starbucks, and then I asked the lady if they sell water. Because I have my Invisaligns on, and water is the only thing I can have while I have these ones on. Otherwise, if I was to eat any other thing, I would have to remove it. It's like a whole process. So it's like, you know what? I just need water. And she was so kind. She gave me the hot water without charging me a single dime. And she just didn't give it to me like, like take your water and get out of my face. No, she still treated me like I was buying from them. So kudos to Starbucks, yes. I was so happy with that. That was so kind of her. Yeah. And she allowed me to stay in, drink my hot water, and leave. I was like, oh, yes, Starbucks. So, anyway, I know how hot the water from a coffee shop can be. So hot because, yeah, it took me a while to start drinking the one that I had. So, she took the water, stepped outside, and poured it into the air. Can you believe that the water froze? I was like, ain't no way, I was like, ain't no way that happened. Hot boiling water poured into the air and then it freezes. That place is cold. It is so cold, and that place is not for me. No, I don't think I'll take. Ooh, I don't know. I'm struggling at 30 something degrees Fahrenheit. I'm struggling. Oh, talk of minus. whatever, 60. Minus 60 is like the extreme. So they have temperatures of like minus 40 degrees Celsius. That is still cold in my books. That is still like, I can't deal. Like, oh, please, somebody save me. Hi, BK. I don't understand the. Huh? What does that mean? I only understand hi, hello, like, I don't know what the other words mean. But anyway, yeah, so it's very interesting. You can check out Yakutsk, just see how cold it is. I'm sure there are many videos online. And then, so one other thing, let me see if I remember something else. So she took us to like the rough neighborhoods. Yeah, as you know, like in most cities, urban areas, you have like the good side, you know, the affluent neighborhoods and stuff like that. And then you have the other side where, you know, people are really like struggling to survive, put food on their table and stuff like that. So she said that it's not like really safe to walk in that area during sorry, in the evening or at night. So she went there during the day. She looked for a cab to go there, and she was like, see, even the cab drivers are declining my request for a ride. But eventually she got one. Anyway, long story short, when she got there, she uh she would like show the structures, like the houses. And then what really got me is like, she said like in that neighborhood, the bathrooms and the toilets were outside. So if that is like in tropical weather, that's fine. We are talking of minus up to 60 something degrees Celsius cold. And every time you need to use the bathroom, you go outside. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And such things really humble someone, or humble me, or should humble us, because sometimes we just get to complain, me included. I'm so guilty of that. Yeah, you get to complain of so many things. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, not realizing that that we have so much to be grateful for. So this is sort of the mindset that I want to go into in 2025. I'm already in 2025. Yeah, just to have that uh heart of like gratitude, of being grateful, of looking at the glass half full and not half empty. Yeah, I know our troubles will probably never end. It's always like for humans, we are always in pursuit for the next good thing, the next big thing. Okay, I've got this, I want the other one. Oh, if I only get this, then I'll be happy with myself and blah blah blah. And you just realize that in the pursuit of happiness is never ending. It will always be one thing over the other. And so yeah, watching this video, I was just like, I am just so grateful. Yes, it's cold here, but at least when I'm not outdoors, I'm comfortable. When I'm outdoors, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm not really out that much. Like, it's either I'm moving from point A to point B and stuff like that. And when you move, your body generates heat and things like that. So I was just like, yo, we need to be grateful for whatever it is that we have. And then, yeah, we can complain a little bit. It's human nature. I'm not saying that don't complain totally, but let's not just get stuck on things and be miserable when we are probably having uh, a better life than most people out there. I know, I think cold here is -1. Oh, Danny, oh, that is cold. But imagine what people in Yakutsk are going through. So cold, yeah, super, super cold. Do you know? Okay, one more thing before I forget. She even said like on New Year's Eve, like most New Year's Eves, if that's a word I can use, or a statement or whatever. You guys know what I mean. So anyway, well, I hope you do. So she said like it's very I wouldn't say dangerous, but you need to be very cautious when you consume alcohol, because she said that the alcohol numbs your body and you don't really get to feel the cold that much. So you could be exposed to like extreme cold conditions, but your body tricks you because of the alcohol into thinking that, oh, you're good and you're fine and stuff like that. So she said a lot of people, like okay, not really a lot, but quite a number of people lose their lives because they drink, they step out, fall asleep outside, and they are gone. Or you're outside and you don't realize that you're exposed to the cold like that, and then by the time you know it, you already have frostbite, you're losing your toes and your fingers, and I was like, if you're staying in Yakutsk, it's just better not to drink then. Because now you don't know. It's very scary. I hadn't thought of it like that, to be honest. Yeah. Hey Suresh, how are you? Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So, whew, coldest city in the world. That was quite eye-opening. I hadn't even thought, uh, like in my mind, that there's a place like that. I've heard of Alaska, but I never knew that the coldest city in the world is in Yakutsk, in Siberia, in Russia. All right. All right, next I want to talk about, guys, I hope you're subscribing. Thank you so much for the likes. Please share this live widely, and thank you guys for chilling with me this morning. Oh, 6 likes, you liked. Oh, thank you. Oh, 6 likes. Yes, I can see that, Suresh. Thank you. All right, so the Amish. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Amish. They're a group of people here in the US. They dress very modestly. They their culture, like their way of life, is very interesting. You know, they work with their hands. They farm, or they till the farm. Is that how you say it? Yeah. But they're like farmers and stuff like that. I've watched a few videos on YouTube and I was quite impressed, you know? Yeah. I'd never heard of the Amish till I came here. Yeah. And so, what really interests me is their way of life in terms of how they eat, you know? Because I'm really trying to eat health, like, I don't want to say clean eating, because then again, what is clean eating? I always want to indulge, you know, in some delicacies that might not be considered healthy because I love food. You guys know, the guys who have been here for quite some time know how much yes truly loves food. Like, I live for food. I love food so much, it's crazy. But anyway, so, and now, like, the moment I start talking about food, I just want to eat and stuff. So I won't talk so much about food this morning because I'm trying to not eat now. I want to eat a little bit later. Um, so anyway, I again came across this video that was talking about food preservation, how the Amish preserve their food. So I don't know if I would say that they don't use refrigerators entirely. I don't know if that is a true statement, but they like to preserve their foods naturally, I would say, without placing the food in the refrigerator or the freezer. So in Kenya, there's a way that we would preserve meat. Not me specifically, but in the village, there are people who do that. So there's a way they smoke the meat and dry the meat. When I go to Kenya, I'll show you guys the entire process. I'm so excited. Those are the things I want to show you, you know, so that you guys can really uh, get to see my people, my country, our cultures and traditions and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is one thing I will try and show you guys, yeah, how we would preserve the meat. And the meat is so tasty, yeah. And once it's preserved, I think it's dried. There's a whole process to it. I don't know like all the steps, so I'm not gonna even try to explain right now. I'll just show you guys when I go to Kenya. Yeah, so it was quite interesting to learn that the Amish also have ways, of preserving their food, and they can preserve the food up to even a year without putting it in the fridge. And I'm like, yes, I'm not mad at that. You want to keep your food as natural as you can. So, um, so they preserve food through canning, okay, placing it in the cans, and then this one I hadn't had. Okay, so the canning, let me see. Wait. They also seal the food in glass jars. They seal it in glass jars and packing meat in lard. I was like, what is lard? Spelled Lard. So I had to Google real quick. So it's like pork fat or so, so sorry for my brothers and sisters out there who don't eat pork. Yeah, but there's a way of preserving meat in this fat and then it can stay fresh for a very long time. I was like, interesting. Yeah. And this one really caught my eye. I was like, coating eggs in clay and ash. Huh? I was like, how so it's a mixture of clay and ash. They coat the eggs with that and then they're able to preserve the eggs. I'm like, wow. But then come to think of it, how were uh, people, in years past preserving the food before refrigerators were invented or freezers, So it's just quite interesting. Yeah. So anyway, it's quite interesting to see how they preserve the food. And I know that there are very many people out there, okay, in other communities and other countries who preserve their foods in this way. Yeah, not necessarily in this way, but I can tell you for a fact that there are communities. Oh, you've seen that cooking eggs on ash? Oh wow, I've never seen that, Danny. Wait 1 second. You've seen, oh wow, I've never seen that. I read that, I was like, that is quite interesting. I never knew that you could preserve eggs in that way. So interesting, yeah. So you guys check out the Amish. Their way of life is very, I personally love the simplicity, yeah. And I feel like okay, we every like we have different ages, they had, I think we are now in the tech age, like the technology age, where you can't do without your phone, your smartphone, your whatever. Everything is smart. Smart TV, smart refrigerator, smartphone, blah blah blah, you know yeah. But I feel like it would be very refreshing, sometimes just to like be one with nature. Just like detach yourself from all this craziness. I'm not saying it's craziness, like it makes life easier and I appreciate that, yes. Yeah, but sometimes I'm speaking to myself as well. Like we just need to like take time and just spend time with our thoughts. It's scary because, come to think of it, when is the last time you were just seated at like by yourself and your thoughts? It's a scary thing because we are always distracted. It's either you're working or you're driving somewhere or you're always doing something, and the only time you get to like rest is the only time you get to rest like when you're going to bed. Yeah, not the only time, but most times, maybe when you're napping or going to bed, that's when you're like, oh my gosh, this is my alone time. And then again, there are those of us who sometimes suffer from insomnia. So when you think, oh, this is my time to rest and chill, and then poop, insomnia kicks in. Yeah. So it would be nice once in a while to just go to a place where you can just be one with nature experience the beauty of nature, just stand barefoot. Do you know how magical it is, for me at least, to just stand barefoot sometimes? Not now, not in this weather. Mm-mm. Not here in winter, I would not recommend, yeah. But maybe during summer and fall or spring, yeah. It just, there's just a way that your body, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, yeah. But it's just a feeling that is so good, yeah. So different ways to preserve food. And trust me, for those who don't have refrigerators and freezers, they have to be very creative and come up with ways of preserving their food. I read that when you preserve your food naturally in this way without any preservatives or anything like that, the taste, like the taste is preserved as well, I would say, for lack of a better word. Yeah. And I just like the fact that it's healthy, like it's not frozen, because you know how frozen food tastes different from the fresh food, from the market. Yeah. So this is quite interesting, and I am so excited, to learn how to preserve food. Um, when I go home, I want to learn, from my fellow Kenyans, just find out how do they preserve their food, blah, 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 how it was done, how they're still doing it. I want to learn. I want to know. Okay. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about what is it called? Oh, they also have a boiling water bath method. I don't really know much about this, but I just wanted to put it out there if you guys are interested to check it out and just find out, what it entails. All right. So I came across another story that was ooh, quite shocking because I've never heard of it before. And anyway, let me share and then you guys can let me know if it's shocking or not. So, le bleu, I think it's a French word. I don't know. Okay, let me just confirm. I have Google here. I can check it out. Let me see. Le bleu. Okay. Let me see. Le bleu. Is it a word and a French word or what? Anyway, it's not coming up, so I might have to. So, Leblou spelled Leblouh. So in Mauritania is in Northwest Africa. Okay, so in Mauritania, there's this practice called Leblou. Okay, I was like, what is Leblou? Leblou. Okay, never heard of that one, but I found out that it is the practice of force feeding girls. I heard it, I was like, what? Like girls are being forced to eat. Like they're literally being forced to eat. And this happens like from as young as 5 to 19. I don't know if it still happens widely now. There are people who still practice it, but I do not think, then again, I don't know for a fact, but I do not think that all of them practice this. But it's been a practice that's been going on for a very long time. So girls from as young as 5 years, so between the ages of 5 and 19, are forced to eat food to fatten them. I was like, that sounds like, when they say, oh, we have to fatten the cows and stuff like that. That didn't sit right with me. I was like, oh, wow, 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 wow. Yeah. So this is because it is believed that obese women, like are like the fully figured women, are beautiful in their culture in Mauritania, right? So, in order for you to get married, you have to gain weight. And so they start at an early age and they feed and they feed and they feed. Now there are people who are not practicing this because they've come to realize the negative effects that, you know, or the threat that obesity poses to their health. So they tend to like pump the brakes on that one. Yeah. Hi Ashley, how are you, girl? Yeah. Morning. Yeah. So now it is so crazy. Yeah. And it is said that if you're thin and slender in Mauritania, then chances of you getting married are very slim. But I would tend to say that this applies also in the rest of Africa, but not in this way. I've not had in Kenya where people are being forced to like eat and stuff like that. So I can't say that it happens because I've never really heard of it. It's never happened to me. I don't know anyone that it has happened to. But I do know that men, African men, do prefer women who are like a little bit curvy, I would say, yeah. And this part, I don't understand why. Maybe when I go home, I'll have conversations with the men so that you can hear from them directly. They also like, and I don't like saying that because I feel like it's objectifying women, but that's just the reality that happens in Africa. So, like, you're behind, they want women with like curvy, like with figures and curvy behind and stuff like that. It's just a lot of pressure. Yeah, and the beauty standards will drive us crazy, because it's always one thing after the other, one thing after the other, one thing after the other, like um love the fit girl you're slaying. Thank you, Ashley. So anyway, I was just like, that is crazy. But to force feed girls, do you know how uncomfortable it is to eat when you don't want to eat? Like, imagine that you're full and then you're forced to like eat. Oh, I was like, that is crazy. That is crazy. And other parents would go to lengths to great lengths to take their kids to like other women to force feed their girls. I was like, ah, that is insane. Yeah. But there are beautiful people there in Mauritania. If you um, listen to how they talk, how they explain that how this culture came about. But right now, most of them know better and they're not really like, what is it called? Yeah, they're not really practicing it in this way, like forcing someone to eat. Yeah. But I just found that quite odd and quite disturbing because I know myself. Once I'm full, I'm full. If I don't want to eat, I don't want to eat, you know? And then you might be forcing me to eat something that I don't want to eat at that time. And these are just kids. What does a 5-year-old know about being obese and adding weight? Yeah. And to think that in other countries, like let's say, for example, in the Western world, this is just a blanket statement. So I'm not saying that this is what applies across the board, but just from what we see, on social media and stuff like that, you know, um, people want to have like the perfect waist, the perfect figure, like an hour. Is it called an hourglass? Figure or anything like, I don't know. Let me see if that's what it's called. An hourglass. Let me see. Yeah, that kind of figure, which is not really realistic, and not everyone can be like that. Like, imagine all the women looking the same. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, we are all beautiful in our own way. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Yes, what's beautiful to me might not be beautiful to you and to the next person. And yeah, so that's just how it is. Let's embrace what we have been blessed with, you know. So long as your body is functioning well, there are people who are going through it. So I'm also trying not to be vain in that way, but social media can put you under a lot of pressure, especially for ladies. I know men also have their own kind of pressure, but for ladies, it's like, oh my gosh, you can't, like, you grow old, but you can't look old. But then, how am I? It's crazy. It's a fear that every woman has as they grow older. When you're young, you don't care. You're happy. You're young. Your looks, and then when you start growing older and you start noticing, that your body is like aging, which is what bodies do when you grow older. You you're supposed to age, and it shows. So yeah, I'm just hoping that we will, as a society, just come to a place where we don't apply unnecessary pressure on people to be uh, beautiful according to like certain standards that people set out there. Because if you've noticed, the beauty standards keep moving and shifting. It shifts and shifts and shifts. You wake up one day being slender, thin, is maybe that's what's considered beautiful. And then after some time, there was a time where the BBLs were like on the rise. And I was like, what's happening? Everyone is getting a BBL, a BBL, a BBL, a BBL, like just damaging your body and spending a lot of money. I'm not here to decide for people what to do with their bodies. Yeah, the saying, my body, my choice. Is that what they say? Yeah, I think so, yeah. But personally, I wouldn't do the BBL because just the health risks, and then why? Just why? Yeah. But I'm not in those people's minds. I don't know what someone has gone through for that person to reach the point where they're like, oh, I want to do this. Because people go through a lot. The world is tough out here, I'm telling you. Yeah. So I know enough to extend grace to those people, but I also know enough to like just encourage myself and others to like just embrace our, I don't even want to say our imperfections. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah. Because I also have, things I feel like are imperfect, but would I go out trying to like seek perfection? Maybe in a different way, in a natural way. But personally, I do not like being under the knife. It scares me. Major surgeries scare me. So unless it's absolutely necessary, yeah. And then the cost also, it's very expensive. Yeah. Hi Glenn, how are you today? All good? Are you leaving work now? Yeah. So is it Glenn or yeah, or Charles? Sorry, Glenn. Sometimes I confuse who works at night. Sorry, forgive me. Yeah, so where was I going with that? So I'm saying all this to say that beauty standards are different. Like in Africa, you know, and I'm not saying all African men, most African men tend to like consider curvy women beautiful. And it gets even crazy because most of them also go for like the women with like the lighter complexion. So yeah, so there are people who are sometimes are forced to like bleach their skin, which I would never advise anyone because those chemicals do more harm than good to your body. And everyone will know that you're bleaching. So like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's just the pressures, uh would I say societal pressures maybe? Yeah. And not everyone is strong enough to like be comfortable in their own skin. you know you could be, but then if you're ridiculed a lot of times, if you move around and people say these things and you think, oh my gosh, you look at yourself in the mirror and you think that you're not beautiful, then you might be tempted to try and change things about you. which I would say, like, just think maybe 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, is that what you'd want for yourself? Yeah. So just try and think in that way. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, um, I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but let's just try and not stress ourselves like crazy over some beauty standards that people set out there. Let me tell you, some of these pictures, especially with filters, we need to be very careful. You know, you see someone on Instagram, they look perfect. Oh, have you guys seen the Instagram pictures? I talk about this a lot of times. Woo! You look at that picture, you're like, oh my gosh. That has happened to me a few times as well. I'm like, oh wow, that person looks so beautiful. Oh my gosh, if only, if only. And then when you think about it soberly, you're like, okay, the makeup, the person probably has applied makeup, the lighting is perfect, they probably have a very good camera. This is me consoling myself. There are those who are just naturally beautiful. I give it to them, you know. There are those who don't do all this and this, and I'm not saying makeup is bad, but I'm just saying it enhances beauty, you know. And when it comes to me, who doesn't really apply makeup that often. Even now, I don't have makeup on. No makeup, no filter. This is me. And I try to do that because I just want to be comfortable in my own skin, you know? And makeup is so hectic for me. But I love when someone applies makeup on my face. But I don't know how to do it myself. I've not really even tried to learn how to do it myself. Yeah, so yeah, that is that. So I was talking about force feeding in Mauritania for girls because obese women are considered beautiful there because it means it symbolizes like abundance, like health, you know. Yeah, but we all know that that is not the case. So anyway, guys, that's all I had for you guys this morning. I hope you've subscribed to the channel. Thanks for the likes. Do you guys have any questions for me? Any thoughts? Any comments before I go? The poll question this morning is, are you having a good Friday? 74% yay, 26% no. Sending love to all of you guys, and I hope, you know, whether you're having a good day or not, I just hope that all is well or all will be well. Getting ready for snow. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh, Glenn, I can only imagine. I used to like, and not all the time, but I would watch on TV. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Look at the snow. When you watch the movies and stuff like that, I'm like, will I ever experience snow? But it wasn't like at the forefront. How can I describe that? It wasn't like something I was thinking about like actively every day. It would only happen when I watched the movie or I come across a picture with snow and stuff like that. And then when I came here, I was so excited. I was all over the snow. And now I'm like, okay, snow. I don't want snow. Yeah, I hope it won't snow that much. But I don't know if you love snow or not, Glenn. Okay, lovely seeing you today. Nice seeing you too, Danny. Have a good one. I'll see you guys hopefully later on tonight. Yeah. Sometimes I go live like at night. It depends on how I feel, really. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'll see you guys later. And thank you guys so much. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Danny, Suresh, Ashley. Who else was here today? VK. Yeah, Cornelius. Yep. Steven, Christopher, Alicia. Yeah. And if I missed your name, it's not intentional, I promise. And I'll see you guys later on. Thank you so much. And as I always say, please, please be a kind human. It doesn't cost a thing. Bye, guys. See you later.